Hello students, on behalf of the Open School Society, I, Anthony D'Souza, welcome you to the first online class of this academic year. Before we get into the unit, I feel glad to introduce you the new English textbook, which was prepared on par with regular 10th class textbook. Children, your new English textbook consists of only 15 units, so you don't need to worry of the syllabus burden. I believe at your study centers you were already given instructions of the personal contact program and the assessment procedures. Before we start, one more thing children. English is a global language. So I humbly request you to acquire the language by participating in every classroom transaction actively rather than learning it for the sake of marks. Yes children, so you are provided textbooks at your study centers, isn't it? I request you all to open your textbooks and just go through the contents which are provided in your textbook. You are given 15 units, and 15 units means 15 themes. Each theme has a lesson. At the end of the textbook, you are provided a mini dictionary so that you can refer to unfamiliar words. Next, I request you all to read the note given to you. So this is the thing children, the first theme, and that is human relations. Every unit is provided learning outcomes and things to remember before getting into the unit. And this part or this section is the face sheet children. So you need to look at the picture and answer the questions that follows. As we are following the academic standards of NCF 2005, we are also insisting on oral as well. So you are asked to talk about the topics given under the face sheet. Every unit is divided into segments children based on the length of the unit. At the end of every segment, you are given questions to check your comprehension. And this is your second segment children. Have a look at this particular part. You need to write the meanings of the following words, for which you need to refer to the mini dictionary given at the end of your textbook. So you are supposed to refer to the mini dictionary at the end of your textbook and write the meanings of those. Next, moving on, you have comprehensions, which are short and long answer questions. Moving on, we have vocabulary part, which are taken from the textbook, which are theme based. Next section is grammar, where you are taught subject and verb agreement in this unit. You have editing, which is very useful for your competitive exams. Every section is very important children. Here you are given a seen or an unseen passage, which is very useful to you. You need to read the passage and answer the questions which follows. They are MCQs as well. And the next part is creative expression. Next section is listening. So the text is given at the end of your textbook children under appendix 1. You need to ask your friend to read out the listening text given at the end of the textbook listen to carefully and answer the following questions. And at the end, this is self-assessment. It is just to check how far you have understood the unit. Now let's go in detail. Let me introduce you the learning outcomes of this unit. After completing this session, you will be able to read and understand the story, enrich vocabulary by identifying the meanings of the words from the story contextually, answer the questions given under comprehension in writing, understand and use phrasal verbs, comprehend the textual passage and answer the questions in writing. Right. Now, let's start with the phrase sheet. Children, and what is the name of the lesson? Very good. Justice above self. Just look at the picture and answer the questions that follow, children. What do you see in the picture? Very good. You see a courtroom. You might have watched in many movies where the person sitting on the high chair says order, order. Isn't it? Very good. So who is that person sitting on the high chair? Correct. He is the judge. He is the person who is going to give judgment. Very good. Can he be partial in giving judgment, children? No. If you were a judge, would you give the judgment in favor of your friends or relatives? Definitely no. Because justice knows neither friends or relatives. Okay? Yes. And you are supposed to speak on that particular topic. Okay? Children, at your study centers, you were already guided to read your textbooks before attending this online session. Isn't it, children? Right. Now, I would like to brief you up about the author of this lesson, and he is Dhanpat Rai Srivastava, better known by his pen name Munshi Premchand, was famous Indian author and poet who ushered into modern Hindi and Urdu literature with his writings. The writer is mainly recognized for his creations that always contained a social message and raised a voice against the social evils prevailing in the Indian society. Right. I hope everyone have read the lesson, children. I'll just brief you up the lesson. Okay? Yes. So it is a tale of a relationship between the two friends Jumman Sheikh and Algu Chowdhury. They have immense faith in each other and share a bond of enduring friendship even though their respective personalities are quite different. The entire village praises their commitment to each other. And children, you might have understood the unit well, isn't it? So let's go with the first case that was taken up in the lesson. Juman's old aunt transfers her whole property to Juman on a condition that he looks after her. After a couple of years, things change. Juman's wife starts ill-treating her. When she asked Juman takes off for his wife, and so the old aunt finds it inconvenient and asks Juman to pay her a monthly allowance for her livelihood. Juman refuses and the case was taken to the panchayat where Algu was made the panchayat. And who is Algu, children? Right, Algu is Juman's friend. Algu gives fair judgment by asking Juman to pay his old aunt a monthly allowance or else the property would go back to her. And this is the scene, children. The first case, who is the head panchayat? Very good, Algu Chowdhury. And plaintiff, the word plaintiff means the person who suffered. And who has suffered here, children? Juman's old aunt. You can see the character over here. And this is Juman and Juman's wife. And party 2 is Juman, the defendant. Right. Now let's go to the second segment. So because Algu has given judgment against Juman, the bond of friendship between the two friends breaks. Juman thinks of taking a revenge, and let's see whether Juman takes revenge or not. Yes, and this is the second case, children. One of the bullocks of Algu dies and he sells the other to a cart driver, Sahu, on an understanding that Sahu pays Algu the price of the bullock in a month's time. The bullock dies within a month. On being asked for the money after several months, Sahu refuses to pay the price and asks Algu to use his bullock for a month and return it. The case was taken to the panchayat and now Juman was made the panchayat. Do you think Juman has taken his revenge? Let's see. Instead of taking advantage of the opportunity, Juman gives wise judgment by asking Sahu to pay the price to Algu and both friends reunite. Isn't it an interesting story, children? Yes. And this is the second scene where head panchayat is Juman and the sufferer is Algu and the defendant is Sahu. Very good. I think everyone have understood the lesson well. So let's go with the segment questions, children. Let's move on with the first segment. How was the bonding between the two friends? Yes, very good. It is given in the first part of the lesson, children. Juman Sheikh and Algu Chowdhury were good friends. Both of them believe each other. When either of them went away from the village, the other looked after his family. People respected both very much. That was the bonding between the two friends. Though they are a little bit different, but they both are very good friends. Let's move on to the second question, children. What was Juman's opinion about the panchayat? I think you have read the section well. Yes. Juman's opinion about the panchayat was that the panchayat knows neither friend nor enemy, but only justice. Very good. Let's move on to the third question, children. My son, it is now obvious that I am, and this particular paragraph ends with kitchen. So let's see the question, children. Let's read the paragraph once. Okay, once we read the paragraph, we will be able to understand the questions well. Very good. Yes. So the paragraph goes like this, children. Okay. Yes. My son, it is now obvious that I am not wanted in your house. Kindly give me a monthly allowance so that I can set up a separate kitchen. And this is on your page number 3. So who does I refer to? Yes, you are right. So I refers to Jumman's aunt. Where was the speaker? The speaker was in Jumman's house then when she spoke these words. What did the speaker demand? The speaker demanded a monthly allowance so that she could set up a separate kitchen. Yes. Let's move on to the next part, children. Segment 2. And segment 2 is about the second case. Who did Algu sell his bullock to? Very good. Correct. He sold his bullock to Samju Sahu. Algu sold his bullock to Sahu. And who is he? A cart driver of the village. What happened to the bullock bought by Sahu from Algu? Yes. The bullock bought by Sahu from Algu died within a month. How did Algu feel on hearing the judgment? Did he feel happy or was he sad? Algu could not contain his feelings. He stood up and said loudly over and over again, "Victory to the Panchayat. This is justice. God lives in the voice of the Panchayat." So you can understand that he was very, very delighted, children. Very good. Yes. Next, let's go on with the comprehension, children. And here you are asked to give answers in 2 to 3 sentences. Let's go with the first question. When Jumman's aunt realized that she was not welcomed in his house, what arrangement did she suggest? Yes, correct. It was already discussed before. Yes. So, she suggested that she gets monthly allowance from Jumman as she could not handle the insult anymore. She wanted to cook separately. She wanted to have a separate kitchen because Jumman's wife was ill-treating her. Next question, children. What was the villagers' reaction when the aunt explained her case to them? How did the villagers react? Correct. The villagers gave mixed reactions. Some sympathized with her, some laughed at her, and some others said that she should try to make up with Jumman and his wife. I hope all of you have opened on page number 6. Yes. The third question. Why was Jumman happy over Algu's nomination as head panchayat? Jumman was happy over Algu's nomination as head panchayat because Algu was his friend and he knew that he would not give a judgment that goes against him. And tell me, children, did he give against him or did he give for on his what called support? No. As we already know that justice knows neither friends nor relations or enemies. Okay, all are treated equally. So he gave the judgment fairly. Next. God lives in the heart of the panchayat. The aunt said, what did she mean by this? Correct. She meant to remind Algu that Panch holds a position equal to God. So he should never be biased. He should be just and fair. Very good. Let's go to the next question, children. What was Algu's verdict as head panchayat? How did Juman take it? Algu gave a verdict that shocked Juman. He asked Juman to pay monthly allowance to his aunt. Juman was very upset at this judgment and he began to consider Algu as his enemy. And this is where the first segment ends, children. Okay? Yes. And let's move on to the next question. Algu found himself in a tight spot. What was his problem? And this is in the second segment, children, where Algu, he loses his one of the bullocks and and he suffers. Let us see. Algu had sold a bullock to Sahu. Sahu had promised that he will pay for the bullock in a month. But the bullock died within a month. Algu found himself in a tight spot because Sahu refused to pay money for the bullock as it died. Yes. Why was Algu upset over Juman's nomination at Head Panchayat? Algu was upset over Juman's nomination as Head Panchayat because he was certain that Juman will take revenge of the judgment that Algu had given earlier. Right, children. So this is the end of the short answer questions. Now let's move on with the long answer questions. And this you need to answer within 5 to 6 sentences. What were the common characteristics between Algu and Juman? Yes, Algu and Juman belong to two different faiths. Yet, both valued their friendship equally. Both had a clean conscience. Neither allowed his personal feelings to affect their love for truth and justice. And that is what we have learned from the lesson, children. Next question. What values do you learn from the lesson? Let's write down. Okay? Right. The values I learned from the lesson are: justice is impartial, no feelings of friendship, enmity and relationship on the way of justice. Voice of justice is voice of God. Justice means God. God lives in justice. Okay? I hope you are taking down, children. Let's move on to the next question. What would you have done in case you had been the head panchayat in place of Algu Chowdhury? Obviously, you would definitely do the same because God lives in justice and he did justice. If I were the head panchayat in the place of Algu Chowdhury, I would have given the same decision that Algu gave. As per the understanding between Juman and his old aunt, she transferred the property to Juman so that he takes care of her. And did he take care? No. But he couldn't fulfill it, so he has to pay his aunt a monthly allowance. Okay? Yes. Children, you can write your own opinions. Next. How did Juman and Algu get over their bitterness and become friends again? Children, in the first segment, you have understood that when Algu has given judgment against Juman, they both, Juman, he hated, he didn't like Algu because he has gone against his friend. And Algu in the second segment didn't think about friendship or relations. He has done just justice. He didn't take the opportunity of, he didn't take the opportunity. Juman did not take the opportunity of taking revenge, isn't it, children? In the second segment, Juman did not take. If he wanted, he would have taken. He would have taken what you call. He would have shown his enmity. He would have taken revenge. But did he take? No, he didn't take. Yes. Juman Sheikh and Algu Chowdhury broke up when Algu gave his verdict in favor of Juman's aunt. Algu heard the voice of his conscience and did justice. But Juman waited for his turn to take revenge. He got that chance soon. Algu was being cheated by Sahu, hence a panchayat was held. Sahu named Juman as head punch. Why? Because Sahu already knew this, that he wanted to take revenge. But as soon as Juman occupied that seat of responsibility, he too decided the case on facts and merits. He did not bring up his personal feelings into it, these children. His verdict in favor of Algu brought them closer once again. Very good. Next. This is the last question, children. In the story, you have witnessed how the old lady was ill-treated. It's very sad. Do you think it was the right way? Give in your opinion how elderly people should be treated. And children, this you can write by yourself. You can give in your own opinions. Okay? I'm just giving you a model. No. To the first question, do you think it was right? No, it's not right. And my opinion would be, elder people are the ones who should be taken care like children. Isn't it, children? They become children again. We are getting an opportunity to serve them, which is a wonder in itself. They have seen the world much before we were born. We should take care of them, seek their advice in every walk of life. We believe in the theory of karma. So whatever we sow, so we reap. We should never forget that one day we would also get old one day and would need support, love and affection from our children. Hope you all have taken down your notes, children. Okay? Yes. So next, let's move on to the next section. Yes. Let's start with vocabulary, children. Read the sentences given from the lesson and observe the underlined part. Kindly give me a monthly allowance so that I can set up a separate kitchen. I want you all to just concentrate on the underlined part. When either of them went away from the village, the other looked after his family. In the third sentence, how can I go against him? So what do you think, children? What are these underlined words? Yes, you are right. The underlined parts are called phrasal verbs. What are they called, children? Phrasal verbs. And what do you understand? What is the meaning of a phrasal verb? Can anyone tell me? Okay, let me explain. A phrase such as set up, looked after, go against, take off, look down on, okay, that combines a verb with a preposition or adverb or both, and that functions as a verb whose meaning is different from the combined meaning of the individual words. It means it gives you a different meaning. Set up shouldn't be taken separately. Together it gives you a different meaning. Okay, and that particular part is called as a phrase and it is a phrasal verb. Okay, children, I hope everyone has understood a phrasal verb. I'll give you some more examples. For example, my car broke down yesterday. So if you just look at the separate parts, broke and down, I think everyone knows what is the meaning of broke. Broke means it is broken into pieces, and down is like a preposition, I should say. Okay, it is a preposition showing you the place down. So if you just look at it separately, my car broke down. If you take the separate parts, you might understand that the under the lower part of the car was broken. But when you look at it as a phrasal verb, it would give you a meaning like it stopped functioning. So my car broke down means my car stopped functioning. Now I think you got a clear meaning, clear understanding what a phrasal verb is. Okay? Now let's go with the textual exercises. Yes. I want you all to look at the following phrases and their meanings. So the meanings are already provided. You need to use the phrases to fill in the blanks, children. So try to understand the meaning of each and every phrasal verb. Set up means put in place or start. Set aside means to save or keep for a particular purpose. Set down to write or record. Set out to start on a journey. This you might have came across many a times. Isn't it, children? The Sinbad set out on a journey. Next, set in. Begin and seem likely to continue. Now try to fill up the blanks, children. Why don't you dash your ideas on paper? When you are saying ideas on paper, it means you are expected to write something on the paper. So definitely what could be the answer? Correct. Set down. Very good. Next. A fund has been dash for the soldiers' families. So, amount was kept for the started for the soldiers' family. They started collecting the funds. So, what could be the phrasal verb? Yes, set up means put in place or started. Means they started to collect funds for the soldiers' families. We should dash a little money every month. If you look at these, you are asked to save a little money every month. So saving a little money every month means set aside. Very good. You should buy some woolens before winter. Means you should be in advance. Buy woolens in advance. Why? Before something starts. And what is that? Phrasal verb sets in. Means before winter begins. Isn't it easy, children? Yes, once you get to know the meanings of the phrasal verbs, it is very easy to put it in place. They dash on the last stage of their journey. They set out on the last stage, means they started on a last stage of their journey. Okay, let's go on with the next second one, that is in page number 7, children. Yes, same. Already we have done with set, phrasal verbs with set. Now let's do with look. Children, you just go through the dictionary. Okay, you will you will find it with an abbreviation like phr.v, means phrasal verb. Okay, here in this textual exercise already they have given you the meanings, or else you can actually refer to the dictionary and you will get to know that they are phrasal verbs. Now look after. This I think your mother looks after you, means your mother takes care of you. Look down means disapprove or regard as inferior, means you are showing that this particular person is inferior to you. Next, look into, investigate. I will look into the matter. When your principal comes and your parent comes and complain, and your principal says I will look into the matter, right? Look in means make a short visit. Okay, you just wanted to see someone. Look out, be careful. Look out, there is a a car coming, rushing behind you. Look out means be careful. Look up means you need to improve or you are admiring something. Okay, now let's look at the textual exercises. After a very long spell of heat, the weather is dash at last. What could be the answer? Correct. Looking up at last. Okay, children. Next, we have no right to dash on people who do small jobs. Small means inferior. Here itself you can get the answer. Look down. So, we have no right to look down on people who do small jobs. Next, the police are dash the matter thoroughly. What will the police do, children? They will investigate, isn't it? So it should be looking into. If you want to go out, I will dash the children for you. Means what? This particular person wanted to go out and someone should take care of the children. Means look after. Very good. I promise to dash on your brother when I visit Lucknow next time. Means when he's short visit. So look into, look in. Correct, look in. Very good. Next, last one. Dash when you are crossing the main road. Obviously. Okay, you have to be careful when you are crossing the main road. So what should be there? Look out when you are crossing the main road. Isn't it very easy, children? Yeah. Now that already the meanings are given, it was very easy, children. But now in the next part, you are supposed to, what are you supposed to do? You need to search the meanings in the dictionary and write your own sentences. Okay, refer to the dictionary and write the meanings of the phrasal verbs with go use them in your own sentences. So I have done them for you, children. These are few examples you can write. Okay, you can frame your own sentences. Go against means what? Okay, you remember the sentence, children, where what called Algu says, okay, where Algu says to the old aunt that I cannot go against my friend, isn't it? So I cannot oppose. Here, public opinion, I have given this in my own sentence, children. Public opinion is going against the government on this issue. Next, go away means leave a place. Okay, he goes away on a business a lot. Next sentence, children, phrasal verb, go about. To begin to do something. We would like to help, but we are not sure what's the best way to go about it. Means, what is the best way to begin? Go across. Across, I think you know what is the meaning of across. Means moving to the other side of a place. Okay. So, we went across the river in just 3 minutes. Sorry, 3 hours. Next, go for. You better go for it. Isn't it? We say, why don't you go for it? So, why don't you choose something? Why don't you go for it? Instead of non-veg, I always go for some veggies. Okay. Next, go through. Go through your textbook. Okay, that is another meaning. Here I have given you another meaning, children, to experience a difficult situation. Okay, when she has gone through a lot in order to achieve what she has. Means that success, whatever she got, it's because she has gone through difficult situations. There's another meaning where we say go through, children. Okay, go through your textbook. Next, go forward means to proceed. Why don't you, okay, like move forward. I don't want to go forward without proper guidelines. Means without proper guidelines, if you go forward, you might face so many difficulties. Okay. Next, go around. To be enough for everyone. Here, this is a different meaning, children. Go around means to be enough for everyone. Means there won't be enough pizza to go around if you take 2 pieces. Means if you, there are some people who are a little bit what we call they like eating. Did you understand? And they might feel like picking up some extra, which is not actually. See, you bring limited pieces and you wanted to give it away to everyone, but because you have less, so you say if it goes around, then what will happen? There will be less pieces for everyone. It will not be sufficient for everyone. Okay? Yeah. Yes. And now this is the reading passage, children. It is very, very, very important, I should tell you. If you go go and attend any competitive exam, okay, even in your what you call assessment, okay, even in the exam, main public exam also, you will be given a comprehension, a passage, children. It might be seen or unseen, okay. As of now we are doing a seen passage, which is all, I mean, from the textbook, but you will also be given an unseen passage. So you should know how to read the passage and answer the questions. So how do you read and answer the questions? The best practice, I will tell you, children, from my experience, first read the questions. When you read the questions, you will what to say you can try to find the clue words from the text, and if the time doesn't permit, time doesn't is not sufficient, so then it is very very useful when you go for a competitive exam. So time will be very less and the passage is very you'll be given lengthy passages. Then what will you do? So the best part would be read the questions, then you need to remember the clue words, and when you read the passage you need to search for those words and you will get a proper answer. Okay children, right? So let's do the reading here, because now that we have sufficient time, let's do the reading first. The panchayat was held the same evening under an old banyan tree. Juman stood up and said, the voice of the panchayat is the voice of God. Let my aunt nominate the head panchayat. I will abide by her decision. Means I will accept her decision. I will, okay. The panchayat knows neither friend nor enemy. What do you say, Algu Chaudhary? The old lady announced. Fine, replied Juman, hiding his joy over this unexpected piece of luck. Chachi, you are aware of my friendship with Juman, said Algu. I know that, replied the aunt, but I know that you will not kill your conscience for the sake of friendship. Very good sentence, children. God lives in the heart of panchayat and his voice is the voice of God, and the old lady explained her case. Juman, said Algu, you and I are old friends. Your aunt is as dear to me as you. Now I am a panchayat. You and your aunt are equal before me. This is what is the what you call the moral or the learning that we get out of this lesson, the value that we get out of this lesson, children. What have you to say in your defense? 3 years ago, began Juman, my aunt transferred her property to me. I promised to support her as long as she lived. I have done all I could. There have been a couple of quarrels between my wife and her, but I can't stop it. Now my aunt is claiming a monthly allowance from me. This is not possible. That's all I have to say. Okay children, I hope everyone has understood the passage. Now let's go with the textual exercise. I mean with the questions. State whether the following statements are true or false. The voice of my wife is the voice of God, children? No, the voice of the panchayat is the voice of God. So this is a false statement. The panchayat knows friend or enemy? No, the panchayat doesn't know or knows neither friend nor enemy. So this is also a false statement. Next, Chachi, you are aware of my friendship with Juman, not enmity with Juman. So this too is a false statement. Okay, so the 3 statements are false. Complete the following sentences choosing the correct answer from the choices given below, children. Let my aunt dash the head panchayat. So it's already given in the text. What? Nominate. Okay. Yes. Let my aunt nominate the head panchayat. The voice of the head panchayat is equal to the voice of whom? Voice of head panchayat is equal to whom? Government, God, or the people? God. Next. My aunt is claiming an allowance from me once in 2 months, 3 months, or a month? Once in a month. Yes. Choose the right word that is similar in meaning to the underlined part. Underlined word. I will abide by her decision. Already while I was reading the text, I told you children, I will obey. I will obey her decision. Okay. And the answer is B. Isn't it easy, children? Yeah. Just simple. You just need to read the passage carefully. You need to understand the passage. You can read it twice or thrice, children, if you find it difficult, and you can do it. Okay. let's move on, children. Yeah. You and I are friends. Who are the two friends referred to here? Obviously, who are the two friends, children? They are Jumman and Algu Chowdhury. Correct. Fine, replied Jumman, hiding his joy over this unexpected piece of luck. What is the piece of luck referred here? What is the piece of luck? He actually expected, Algu would, support him, would give judgment, okay, on his behalf. But that did not happen. Jumman's old aunt's decision in nominating Algu as the head panchayat made Jumman think that it was a piece of luck to him. Okay, children? Yes. Whom did the old lady nominate as the head panchayat? Obviously, we already got to know. Who did the old lady nominate? The old lady nominated Algu Chowdhury because she believes him as the head panchayat because she knew that he would not kill his conscience for the sake of friendship. Because the other villagers she couldn't believe, okay, she only believed Algu Chowdhury because she knew him, okay. She knew what type of person, what sort of person was Algu Chowdhury. Okay, children? Yes. So let's move on to the next section, that is recapitulation, children. I hope everyone has understood the unit well. Okay, so in this unit we have learned the expected learning outcomes. What are the expected learning outcomes, children? We have learned the phrasal verbs. We have learned the comprehension part. Okay, we understood the lesson well, and we checked our comprehension after every segment. And we also got to know what is a phrasal verb, that a verb plus preposition or adverb or both, okay, and that is the definition of a phrasal verb. And we also knew how to frame it in our own sentences. We read a passage from the text, okay, a scene passage, and completed the questions that followed. Okay, children, so this is the end of today's session, children. Tomorrow we will try to complete the next part of the unit. Okay, thank you.